Greetings. Welcome to Per Netter Kemet. I am Brother Harkuf Hidep Duamutef, Chief Maji at Per Netter Kemet. And this video is an introduction to the use of the holy herb, the Mari-HuAna, and the use of the holy Biblia. So we start off, before we smoke the holy herb, we start off by ringing the bell to call in the ancestors and the immortals in our case. Next, we light the holy sage to purify our area and to help purify our aura, our energy that surrounds the body. Then, of course, we have the holy herb, the Mari-HuAna. Here, as I like to smoke it, in keef form or powdered form. Once we smoke and do our holy sacrament, or whichever meditation you happen to be doing with the holy herb, the next move is to pop a piece of wood candy in your mouth. Chinese licorice root is very cleansing of all toxins in the body. Plus, it replaces the yin that the smoking takes away from the lungs. This Chinese licorice roots, it balances the blood sugar and detoxes the body. So we sell this, we have this available to go with the other herbs during our holy smoking. I keep the stems from the sage to clean out my pipes and the Biblia. And we have a card where we can place our resin, the resin that we get out of the pipe, out of the bowl. You can use our cleaning tools. This one, just a simple pen that's bent so it can get the resin out of the top of the bowl here. And then you have your other cleaning tools. And then, of course, we have our rag for when, after we smoke, the body starts to cleanse. And you need a rag for, we call it, for your mucus, for Leviathan. For the mucus that comes out when you start to cough. And then you have your cup. So when you're coughing, you can use it as a spittle. Now, we say bud da. The bud is the holy bud, of course. So we don't worship any being. We don't worship this statue here, in other words. We don't worship the Buddha. We say bud da. Bud, of course, again being the holy bud, the Mari-HuAna, and da, meaning the emptiness of mind, of bliss, not the da of stupidity, but da, D-U-H, bliss and emptiness. Yes, just like empty-mindedness, but in a good way. So we don't worship a Buddha, we look for the Buddha within, or the Christ within. We call it Nagarjuna. Now, Nagarjuna was or is expected as a black Buddha to return to save the Nagas who were enslaved. This story is on the walls in Cambodia, carved into the walls. So we'll go into that story further later. But we look for Nagarjuna within. We call that the first eye, which the holy herb helps to open while you smoke or when you smoke. And then we can go into our holy practices. This is our Maji manual. It's all training manual. It's no superstition. We don't want followers. We don't want believers. And there are no leaders. I'm the chief of the church, but I'm not your leader. Okay, so that's pretty much the tray that holds all your tools. The ashtray, of course, for the ashes. And we light the sage with a candle. We try not to use the butane big lighters and things like that. We use a ceremonial candle to light the to light the sage, and we use a sage to light the bowl. So this is the Holy Biblia. Handmade from a coconut by our chief warrior priest, Brother Prophet. And he drew on the coconut, as you see here. The process you go through when you start the smoke, the holy smoke. The herb is a healing herb. It is not a drug. So you will start the process of the mucus and coming out. So that's why you have the rag here. So you see, as he has drawn on here that it opens up the first eye, that you may call the third eye. So soon our priests will be making these for the general public, and we'll be offering them to be custom made for you. The Holy Biblia represents the process of alchemy. I've gone over that in another video. So we call ourselves Maji. And our particular group is called the Three Magi. And the order that I'm started with the founder of the esoteric and occult knowledge in America, P. Randolph, where my great-grandfather got the information from. And then he and my great-grandmother, who I don't have a picture of here, who taught my grandmother the Gichigula martial art of kicking and knocking, or rather Ingolo. And then the Gichi learned or developed the kicking and knocking. My grandmother, who passed it down to me. And here I am today, starting the new Magi order that my great-grandfather started in the 1800s. So as I said, we are the Three Magi. And now the Magi have returned for our future. We are the new heroes for today. We need heroes, not zeros. So I have my first two priests, the yin and yang of the temple, Brother Prophet and Sister Goddess Maji, and of course me. Maji represents the goddess Magu, and it says in the scripture of Magu, the scripture of infinite harmony, that the goddess does dwell within the plant coterminous, one and the same being. The goddess, plant, and her transformative properties, upon ingestion of the plant as food, smoke, or extracted chemical, there is a mystical union with the princess of cannabis, Maji. In this most sacred and holy state, the devotee can discover the true nature of the world and of the self. So even in China, they knew that the holy Mari-HuAna had properties of immortality. We talk about the third eye, or the first eye. Now we're talking about the immortal properties that it has for immortalizing the body. And here we find in the Western Bible, in Ezekiel 34:29, and this is your God talking, and I will raise up for them, God talks like that, a plant of renown, and they shall be no more consumed with hunger in the land, neither bear the shame of the heathen anymore. Ezekiel. So what is the plant of renown? What other plant do you know of? One side is the Mari-HuAna plant, which makes all kinds of medicines, curing all kinds of diseases. And the other side, the other plant, is the hemp plant, which can make all kinds of products, food, clothing, shelter, all the things that we need to be a self-sufficient group of people. So this is what we, the three Magi, have returned to teach the people. Self-defense, the Kenna Kung Fu, the love-making alchemy and Kung Fu, and what we call Taonomics, the way of wealth building. We'll be bringing these things to the people to make us a self-sufficient people. We shouldn't have to wait for no one to clothe us or to give us anything. The door has been opened. We are the three Magi of Alkheme. Welcome The door has been opened.